Prince Sheikh of the land, saw her. He kidnapped her and lay intimately with her by force, humbling and offending her. I mean, we already starting off. Oh, so this what we doing? Y'all know what we call this. Understand it's not finna go well. So Shechem said to his father Hamor, get me this young woman as a wife. Hold on, playboy. Instead of earning her love, like anybody, like a real person would, you throw yourself on her forcibly. And then you tell your father, you know that woman, yeah, the one that I took down without her permission, I want her as my wife. That's strike two right there. Now, when Jacob's sons heard of it, they came in from the field and they were very angry. You can tell from a YN, when you see a YN in the Bible, you can tell when you see a YN in the Bible. All you gotta do is just look. Of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, took their swords boldly into the city without anyone suspecting them of evil intent. And they killed every male. YNs with the quarter zip. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have ruined me, making me a stench to the inhabitants of the earth. What is up, family? Welcome back to yet another Bible study. First of all, giving glory and honor to the Yah, Jesus Christ, the head of my life. We are picking up at Genesis chapter 34, right? Now, last episode, we were seeing Jacob finally come out from underneath Laban and becoming his own man and taking his family with all of his wives and concubines and children and going back to his home because the Lord has already directed him there. As he was there, he was troubled while he was inside the wilderness because honestly, he wasn't sure if his brother Esau was going to forgive him. But if God tells you to go somewhere, that means that he already has things worked out. But before he could even get to his brother Esau, Laban chased him down because Jacob decided to leave without telling Laban. I mean, Laban had already cheated him out of everything else, so why not just leave on your own accord? But when he did, Laban decided to get all of his people, chase Jacob down, and when he caught him at his camp, Laban felt some type of way, felt like he had got cheated. And Jacob, after all of those years, almost 20 years of working for Laban, being cheated out of his first wife, being forced to marry Leah, then being cheated out of his money, then being cheated out of his own cattle, finally had enough of Laban and popped off and snapped on him. He didn't crash out necessarily, but he did give him a piece of his mind. And this is probably the angriest that we've ever seen Jacob be because he's been holding all of this in respects to Laban. But now that he's obeying what God has to say, God is saying, and he's doing exactly what God is asking, at this point, it's time to let Laban know about himself. And before Laban even got to Jacob, God had already approached Laban in a dream, telling him, you better watch what you say and watch how you act around Jacob. And instead of them coming to blows or it still being an argument, Jacob and Laban actually made an oath and a covenant that neither Jacob would come after Laban and Laban wouldn't come after Jacob. And there they put up just a monument to say like, hey, this is to signify that me and you would never come after each other. When Jacob finally meets his brother, things actually go completely different, even though there was all of these little bitty schemes and plans that Jacob thought that he could do to stop Esau from being mad. But again, when God has something planned, that's most likely he's already worked it out. It's not even most likely he did work it out, but that's us as humans. We think that there's some type of way that this might go wrong. So God might not be as good as we think he is. So we try to come up with our own schemes, but God had already had everything worked out. After seeing his brother and those two, I'm not even going to explain the rest of it. You just have to go to the previous episode and watch it. So we pick up today at Genesis 34, the treachery of Jacob's sons. Genesis 34, the treachery of Jacob's sons. Oh, shoot. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out unescorted to visit the girls of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, Prince Sheikh of the land, saw her, he kidnapped her and lay intimately with her by force, humbling and offending her. I mean, we already starting off. Oh, so this what we doing? Y'all know what we call this. Y'all know what we call this in today's time. Yeah, you know what it is. It starts with a R, A, P, E. Yeah. understand it's not finna go well. It's not finna go well. But his soul longed for her and clung to Dinah, daughter of Jacob. And he loved the girl and spoke comfortingly to her young heart's wishes. So Shechem said to his father Hamor, get me this young woman as a wife. Hold on, Playboy. So instead of earning her love like anybody, like a real person would, you throw yourself on her forcibly. And then you tell your father, you know that woman, yeah, the one that I took down without her permission, I want her as my wife. That's strike two right there. That's already strike two. Jacob heard that Shechem had violated Dinah, his daughter, but his sons were in the field with his livestock. So Jacob said nothing until they came in. But Shechem's father, Hamor, went to Jacob to talk with him. Now, when Jacob's sons heard of it, they came in from the fields. They were deeply grieved, and they were very angry. For Shechem had done a disgraceful thing to Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter. For such a thing is not to be done. But Hamor conferred with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem deeply longs for your daughters and sister. Please, give her to him as his wife. And beyond that, intermarry with us. Give us your daughters to us as wives and take our daughters for yourselves. So he's trying to strike a deal. He's trying to smooth this over. Tensions is high. They hot right now. You can tell from a YN. When you see a YN in the Bible, you can tell when you see a YN in the Bible. All you gotta do is just look. Them is YNs. Them all Jacob's sons, and they all got on quarter zips right now in the field, YNing. They planning and treachery. They probably finna turn on some gospel drill right now. In this way, you shall live with us. The country will be open to you. Live and do business in it and acquire property and possessions in it. Shechem also said to Dinah's father and to her brothers, let me find favor in your sight, and I'll give you whatever you ask of me. Demand of me a very large bridal payment and gift as compensation for giving up your daughter and sister, and I will give you whatever you tell me. Only give me the girl to be my wife. I'm gonna be real. Shechem shouldn't have said nothing. Shechem should have shut it up. He should have shut his Shechem self up. He shouldn't have said nothing. Let the father talk. I'm pretty sure as the YNs was sitting there, as soon as he opened his mouth, they was getting more mad as he was talking, right? So you already know this not finna go well. Jacob's sons answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, because Shechem had defiled and disgraced their sister Dinah. They said to them, we cannot do this thing and give our sister in marriage to one who is not circumcised, because that would be a disgrace to us. But we would consent to you only on this condition, if you will become like us, and that every male among you consents to be circumcised. Then we will give our daughters to you in marriage, and we will take your daughters for ourselves, and we will live with you and become one people. But if you do not listen to us and refuse to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, Dinah, and go. That sound like a plan, don't it? Right? Okay. All right. Look, all y'all got to take your meat, cut that off, throw it to the side, cut it off. So everybody in here got to get that skin removed. Everybody in here got to get that skin removed. Right? Now, the key word there was deceitfully. They said this deceitfully. I told you they are YNs. Just keep listening. Their words seemed reasonable to Hamor and his son Shechem. And the young man did not hesitate to do the required thing, for he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. You know what I forgot, Chad? I forgot to switch the screen on this side. But y'all got to look at me. Look, we in here. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. And the young man did not hesitate to do the required thing, for he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. Now he was more respected and honored than all others in the household of his father. So now everybody was like, hey man, look, for you, we know that you love his daughter. All right, bet, man. We're going to get that skin removed. All right, don't even worry about it. All of us going to get this skin removed. Then Hamor and Shechem, his son, came to the gate of their walled city, where the leading men would meet, and spoke with the men of the city, saying, these men are peaceful and friendly with us. So let them live in the land and do business in it. For the land is large enough for us and for them. Let us take their daughters for wives, and let us give them our daughters in marriage. But only on this condition will the men consent to our requests, that they live among us and become one people. That every male among us become circumcised, just as they are circumcised. Will not their cattle and their possessions and all their animals be ours if we do this? Let us consent to do as they ask, and they will live here with us. And every Canaanite man who went out the city gate listened and considered what Hamor and Shechem said, and every male who was a resident of that city was circumcised. Now you got to understand, they want to do this plan. Obviously, Hamor, Shechem, they want this plan. Why? Because Hamor, first of all, don't want no smoke with Jacob, and Shechem then messed up, so he's trying to fix it. Don't that sound like today? Don't that sound like today? Somebody's father trying to fix their son's problems and their son's issues. They do something stupid and they mess up, right? And they got to fix their issues, so the father got to step in. Okay. Now they go into the rest of their people, and they're like, "Hey, look, think about this. I know y'all ain't gonna look. Y'all look at our women. None of them want y'all, but these women over there, they might want y'all, right? So we gonna bring these women over here, okay? And then they gonna be our wives, and then our daughters gonna be their wives, right? So if we do all of this, it's enough land for us. We could be even bigger, better, stronger, because they stuff become our stuff, right? Don't that make sense? Okay. Now, the only thing is we got to get circumcised. So they're going to take a thing, put it on the table, take that thing, get rid of that meat, okay? That's all we got to do. That's pretty simple, right, boys? Think about the payoff. You get pain, but you also get a payoff. Everybody said, okay, you know what? Hamor, Shechem, got a good plan. It's a good idea. So everybody does it. They get circumcised. Now, on the third day after the circumcision, when all the men were terribly sore and in pain, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, took their swords boldly into the city without anyone suspecting them of evil intent. And they killed every male. YNs with the quarter zip. Everybody hurting. You can't fight when your thing hurting. You ever try to fight when your thing hurting? You can't. It's hard. They was all weak. Do you hear the scheme? This is why you got it. Look, don't mess with folks. Don't mess with folks. Don't mess with folks. Then Jacob's other sons came upon those who were killed and looted the town. So not only did they killed everybody, nobody could fight back. Then the other sons, that was just Simeon and Levi. The other sons was like, since y'all ain't gonna use it, might as well take care of it myself. Because their sister had been defiled and disgraced. They took the Canaanite flocks and their herds and their donkeys and whatever was in the city and in the field. They looted all their wealth and took captive all their children and their wives, even everything that was in the houses. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have ruined me, making me a stench to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My men are few in number, and the men of the land will band together against me and attack. I shall be destroyed, I and my household. But they said, should he be permitted to treat our sister as a prostitute? Woo! Now here's the thing.
They was standing on business.
It was on. This is called standing on a contract. Jacob not wrong for feeling. Jacob didn't choose violence. He didn't choose violence. See, Jacob has been wrong before. He's been tricked before, so Jacob didn't choose violence. But Simeon and Levi, Jacob not wrong. because the people in that land, they might. But remember what the promise that God had given to Abraham, that he passed down to Isaac, that he passed down to Jacob. I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. I will turn your name into a great nation. Or the land, you'll be fertile in that land. Remember, I will bless those that bless you, and I'll curse those that curse you. So because Hamor and Shechem did a very evil thing. That's a curse. I'm going to just be real. God ain't lied yet. Has he lied yet? He ain't lied yet. He said, I'm going to bless those that bless you and I'm going to curse those that curse you. He ain't lied yet. Genesis 35. Jacob moves to Bethel. Then God said to Jacob, go up to Bethel and live there and make an altar there to God, who appeared to you in a distinct manifestation when you fled years ago from Esau, your brother. Then Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, get rid of the idols and images of foreign gods that are among you, and ceremonially purify yourselves and change into fresh clothes. Then let us get up and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I have gone. So they gave Jacob all the idols and images of the foreign gods they had, and the rings which were in their ears and worn as charms against evil, and Jacob buried them under the oak tree near Shechem. Ooh, ain't that crazy? They had earrings and stuff and rings and stuff to protect them from evil. Have you noticed that Jacob hasn't had any of this? It's not, Jacob didn't say he took off these things. He didn't say that. He's telling them what to do because Jacob don't need all that. He already heard what God said to him. He don't need that. He don't need these empty gestures, these empty idle things to protect him from evil when God already told him that he was going to protect him. As they journeyed, there was a great supernatural terror sent from Yah on the cities around them, and for that reason the Canaanites did not pursue the sons of Jacob. Yo, Jay, let me ask you a question. And if you're watching this on the YouTube side, I do these Bible studies at 12 p.m. Pacific time in my Discord to be here live. Jay, let me ask you a question. Abraham had fear that the Egyptians were going to kill him for his wife, right? He might be the answer. He might not be. And then knowledge. Abraham sold out his wife 2 times, correct? So that he wouldn't be killed, right? But God had already God made him a promise though, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, said I'll protect you, yeah.
Right. Okay. So in the times of Abraham's biggest fear, God provided and protected him. And he fixed it. He corrected it. And the same thing happened to Isaac, right? Remember when Isaac went to Egypt? And he sold out his wife, right? Didn't Yah fix it then too?
Yeah. That's the father fixing the issues, the problems of the son.
No, knowledge. Watch this. This is why I said I want everybody to write down what God says. Write down what he says. Because if he's talking to them, he's talking to us too. Jacob is scared, right? He's in fear that the people are about to come for him. That's what he's scared of. He's scared that the Canaanites and the Perizzites are about to band together to take him out. But when Yah said, I will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you. See, you don't know how God gonna do something. You don't know how Yah gonna do something. You don't. But he said what he said. And when he tell you he got it, he got it. And even in a situation where his sons were the ones that gave the punishment and gave that, you don't know if God gave the order or not, but just know that there was an execution of punishment that went about. While Jacob is now in fear again, the same as his father Isaac, and the same as his father Abraham. What does Yah do in return? As they journeyed, there was a great supernatural terror sent from Yah. So this is God fixing the situation, telling him, you have nothing to fear. If I'm before you, who can be against you? On the cities around them, and for that reason, the Canaanites did not pursue the sons of Jacob. There he go, fixing it again. So Jacob came to Luz. Go ahead, Knowledge. Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying in supernatural fashion too. Key word. Supernatural, meaning it was out of the ordinary. Like it just came out of nowhere.
I mean, if something supernatural happened, wouldn't you forget about everything too? I would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would. Shoot. Forget about being angry, bro. I'm just trying to stay alive. I don't know what's going on here. You know what I mean? Like, if you... Look, Knowledge, I don't care how mad you be. I don't care how mad you are. If I walked outside and I saw everything outside was floating and the water was floating and the river was floating and I see lightning and thunder, bruh, whoever I was just mad at, forget that.
Forget that. You said water floating? Oh, no. You right there, you got me.
Bruh, you walk outside and the whole sky is red. It's completely red. Red. Everything is floating in the air. Everything. The rivers, you look outside and you see your river in the air. The sky is completely red. I don't know what he did, supernatural knowledge, but he did something that had them so shook. It says they was in terror.
Terror. Yeah.
Y'all not understanding. Y'all not understanding. When the word terror, see, we use that word like they'll be like terror nights at Knott's Berry Farm, right? Right? Like y'all gotta understand what the word terror is. Beyond afraid. It's beyond scared. Terror.
The level.
It's levels to it, Knowledge. I was terrified. Terrified mean at some point I thought it was over. I was beyond, I thought it was gonna be over for me. I was terrified. I peed on myself. I was so terrified. Watch this. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, and he and all the people who were with him. There he built an altar to worship the Lord and called the place El Bethel, God of the house. Because there Yah had revealed himself to him when he escaped from his brother. Now I want you to write this down. The place, El Bethel. So you can call your house El Bethel. You can call your house El Bethel, God of the house of God. If you give your
that's
place,
the name of the church I go to.
Right, El Bethel.
That's kind of crazy.
There's a lot of the names that you see in churches come from the Bible. It comes from the word, right? It comes from the word. That's why a lot of the people, like the names of a church will come from. It comes from the Bible itself. So you can call your house El Bethel because you want it to be, first of all, God of the house of God. Like he's the head of his own house. Does that make sense? Okay. I just want to make sure that makes sense. Okay. Because there Yah had revealed himself to him when he escaped from his brother. Now, Deborah, who once was Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried below Bethel under the oak. And the name of it was called Alon Bakuth, Oak of Weeping. Jacob is named Israel. Then Yah in a visible manifestation appeared to Jacob again when he came out of Paddan Aram and declared a blessing on him. Again Yah said to him, your name is Jacob. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name. So he was called Israel. And Yah said to him, I am Yah Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. Are we writing this down? Are we writing this down? This is Genesis 35, verse 9. And we're going to go all the way down. I need you to write. This is God giving a direct message to Jacob. And be very understanding. When we are in direct obedience with Yah, when we are obeying Yah, he will change our name. That's a real thing. Do y'all remember the dude? He used to be he goes by Holy Gabbana now. I can't think of his name before, but he was the dude that used Boot Game. He used to go around doing all this wild stuff, doing all this crazy stuff, right? And then Yah changed his name. He just released a song, and it's you can feel the Holy Spirit on him. I've been watching his shorts. I mean, I'm saying this is a complete 180 of who he used to be into a completely different person. God's still giving out receipts. He ain't never stopped giving out invoices. I'm going to read this back from the beginning again. Then God, in a visible manifestation, appeared to Jacob again when he came out of Paddan Aram, and he declared a blessing on him. Again, Yah said to him, your name is Jacob. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel should be your name. So he was called Israel. And Yah said to him, I am Yah Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall be born of your loins. The land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, I will give to you, and to your descendants after you, I will give the land. Then Yah ascended from Jacob in the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a pillar, memorial monument, in the place where he had talked with Yah, a pillar of stone, and he poured a drink offering of wine on it, and he also poured oil on it to declare it sacred for God's purpose. So Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him Bethel, the house of God. When they journeyed from Bethel, and when there was still some distance to go to Ephraim, y'all know these names be kicking me, Bethlehem, Rachel began to give birth and had difficulty and suffered severely. When she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, do not be afraid. You know you now have another son. And as her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Ben-Oni, son of my sorrow. But his father called him Benjamin, son of the right hand. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem. Jacob set a pillar, memorial monument on her grave. That is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel, Jacob, journeyed on and pitched his tent on the other side of the Tower of Eder, the lookout point used by shepherds. Now, this is a really rough moment for Jacob because this is the woman that he wanted from the very beginning, before he was tricked. And while giving birth to her son, to their son, Rachel dies. I haven't lost a wife. But I know that there's a lot of people that when they lose someone or anything like this or of the sort, the first thing they do is turn away from God. Like, why you do this? Why you do that? Instead of counting the time and the blessings that you have with this person, enjoying everything that you've had with this person, knowing that at someday God is going to call them home. And so one thing I love about Paul is when we finally get there, when we get to the New Testament, read about Paul. Paul is he's talking to the Philistines, and he's having this conversation with them, and he's in his letter, and he's saying, you know, it's hard for me because I know that y'all need me, but I want to go be with Christ so bad. I'm in jail right now, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I really want to go be with Christ. Like, I just want to go be with him. But I know y'all still need me. So I'm going to choose to be here. But in all honesty, if I were to die, I wouldn't care because I know where I'm going. I just wanted to leave that there. While Israel was living in that land, Reuben, his eldest son, went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine. And Israel heard about it. Oh, shoot. That's just disrespectful. The sons of Israel. Now Jacob had 12 sons. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn. Then Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. And the sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's maid, Dan, and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's maid, Gad, and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob born to him in Paddan Aram. Jacob came to Isaac, his father, at Mamre of Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abram and Isaac had lived temporarily. Now the days of Isaac were 180 years. Isaac's spirit departed, and he died, and was gathered to his people, who had preceded him in death, an old man full of days, satisfied, fulfilled. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him in the cave of Machpelah with his parents, Abraham and Sarah. Now I'm going to stop there for today because we're going to pick up at listen to the promise of what what God tells Abraham. Now in hearing the Lord had said to Abram, go away from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you abundantly, and I will make your name great, exalted, distinguished, and you shall be a blessing, a source of great good to others. And I will bless, do good for benefit those who bless you. And I will curse, that is subject to my wrath and judgment, the one who curses, despises, dishonors, has contempt for you. And in you all the families, nations of the earth will be blessed. See, when we read this, it's clear as day. If God gives us a promise and he tells us something, what are we in fear of? What are we scared of? If Yah says, I'm sending you somewhere and I need you to go do this for me in my name, I will bless those that bless you and I will curse those that curse you. That means we shouldn't have no fear. We shouldn't have no worries. It doesn't mean that fear won't come up. It doesn't mean that fear won't come up. That would be me being unrealistic. But what are we supposed to do with fear? What are we supposed to do with fear? Let's find out what we're supposed to do with fear. It's 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 through 8. Let's just go verses 6 through 7. Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God. Set aside self-righteous pride, so that he may exalt you to a place of honor in his service at the appropriate time, casting all your cares, all your anxieties, all your worries, and all your concerns once and for all on him. For he cares about you with deepest affection and watches over you very carefully. You telling me this don't sound just like the way that this sounds when we read with the promise that he gives? This is why we don't need to be scared. We don't need to be fearful of anything, especially people. If God is sending you to go do something, he's sending you for a reason. Your job is just to be obedient and do what he said. Let God do what he does. Let him take care of the rest. Let him worry about the rest. Stop worrying yourself. Don't let fear make you make decisions. Don't let anger make you make decisions that goes clearly against God's will for you. Let God handle your battles. You know how many times Jacob could have snapped on Laban? Esau could have clearly got revenge on Jacob. As soon as he saw him, Esau sent out more people than what Jacob had. Esau could have immediately got revenge. But God still blessed him too. Remember, Esau, when Jacob tried to give him the gifts, Esau was like, oh, bro, I don't need this. I'm straight, bro. Like, no, hear me. I'm straight. I don't need none of this, bro. I'm good. And Jacob said, nah, come on, man. Just take this, bro, for real. Like, I'm in front of your presence. Like, the fact that you even let me see you, bro. Like, and we know what it is. What's said don't need to be, what's understood don't need to be said. Like, just accept this, bro. He said, all right, man, I got you. I'll take it. Don't worry about it. I got it. So when Yah got you, when he says he got you, believe what he said. If you're going through something right now, I want you to read those verses and read what he said. And believe what he said. And apply it to yourself. Everywhere you go, everything you do, everything you think, everything you say, treat it as if God is directly sending you himself, because he is. It'll change how we act and behave in the real world when we know that God is sending us as a direct messenger with authority. And his promise is on me. I'm saying this for you. His promise is on me. So I don't move in fear. I don't move in anger. I don't move in all that. I don't do that. I'm here because God sent me to do. So I'm here. I got a job I got to do. And when I touch something, it's blessed. So anybody that decides to do me wrong, I don't need to give vengeance. Vengeance is for the Lord, not for me. Man, thank y'all for watching today's Bible study. If you have enjoyed today's Bible study on the YouTube side, make sure you first of all drop a like. Send this to somebody. Send this to someone that you know really, really needs this word, man. And I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Keep God and Jesus Christ in your life. Pray before you go to bed tonight. And remember that Yah loves you and I love you.